Hi, my name's Carl Mattiola. I'm the CEO of Breakthrough. We help people in pain get back to normal naturally so that they don't have to rely on medication, injections, or surgery. And we do that by partnering with physical therapy practices and educating the community on how they can solve their pain naturally and helping them get treatment through physical therapy and exercise. Our company is we're about a little over 4 years old at this point, and we have, I think we're at about 36 employees right now. I started Breakthrough because I saw a huge challenge in the marketplace. The challenge was that physician-owned practices and hospitals were consolidating the market, and so physical therapy practices were having a hard time bringing in patients anymore because the physicians that were being acquired by the big conglomerates, the big hospitals, were referring those patients right back into the systems and refusing to refer to the physical therapy practices. So the patient flow became anemic for private practices, and they needed to find a solution. So we came in at the right time when we saw that going on, and we were teaching them how to market direct to the public, and then we created a system that actually does that for them. There's two components to what we do. We teach people what to do. So we have a component where we educate them, and we have courses, and we teach them how to market direct to the public specifically, and how to get more patients, and how to improve the treatment and the value that comes in from that patient as well. So we improve the amount of patients they get, and we improve the amount they convert, and we improve the profitability. So we're really helping with the front end of their business. And then we also have a platform, which is the next step up, where we actually do this for them. So this is an amazing thing because we're actually able to guarantee a certain number of patients each month to come into a practice from the general public. And we're able to do that because we have a lot of data and a lot of marketing horsepower and knowledge on how to on the biggest questions and challenges these people with musculoskeletal issues are having. So we're able to answer those questions and drive people into practices, and we're able to actually guarantee that. And when we do that, we're really able to make the practice owner in that area become the best known expert for whatever it is that they treat, whatever it is that they're best at. We get them known, and then we help transform their community so that those people, don't have to rely on pain meds, get hooked on pain meds, or get unnecessary surgery. They can try and be successful with physical therapy, and they can be successful with exercise before that they go down those invasive routes. So we started with Freescale about a little over a year ago, and when we were looking for a coach, what we were looking for was we needed to put systems in place in order to grow and scale our people systems, and we knew that. So I personally had read the Rockefeller Habits, I had read Scaling Up, I'd read Traction, and I tried to put these systems in place myself. And I just knew that I didn't need to reinvent the wheel. So I wanted to look for a coach who had experience in doing this. And I didn't just want somebody. There are a lot of facilitators out there that can help facilitate quarterly planning and help facilitate putting some of these systems in place. I wanted more than that. I wanted somebody who actually had the experience and been there, done that, has actually scaled a business and gone through what I want to go through and where we want to take our company. And that's exactly the kind of knowledge that Rich and Wayne brought. The other reason that I wanted to, that I chose to join or chose to sign up with Freescale was just because of their culture. Like they're super down to earth guys. They care about people. and they care about purpose-driven businesses like ours. And they're cool guys, and we also knew that they were going to push us. So it was just a really good culture fit as well. So I saw the experience that they had, and it aligned with where we were trying to go. We were wrestling with organizing the amount of staff that we needed and team members that we needed to bring on in order to scale and continue to grow to achieve the things we wanted to achieve. Yeah, so the main factors I was looking for, number one, I wanted to follow the scaling up process. So I wanted somebody to be certified there, and that's how I found them. I found them through that. But I also was looking for somebody who had actually scaled a company before, from 10 to 100 million, which is the phase where we were in and are in right now, and that's I needed that experience. The other, really, that was it. I mean, those were the two things I was looking for, plus a culture fit and somebody I was going to get along with. I actually did at the time want somebody who had an understanding of my business model and what we were doing. But looking back on it, I mean, they have an understanding of lots and experience with lots of different types of businesses. At this point, they've scaled a lot of businesses on their own, or they have experience doing it on their own, but they've worked with quite a few clients at this point. And so, I mean, it was a pretty great match, and it was a no-brainer once I had a few conversations. I mean, the results have been insane. I can't, it's hard for me to pin it down. I mean, I can talk about the things that we've done. So we started off with our first quarterly planning session. At that session, we locked down and figured out what our company purpose was. Figuring out our company purpose and getting really specific about that purpose and our big, hairy, audacious goal where we were shooting for the big thing that we're going after. Getting that nailed down and getting the purpose of helping people in pain get back to normal naturally and getting that big goal down has really helped to guide the team and guide everything that we're doing. Once we figured that out, we also worked on our company values. They helped us nail those down. That was an extremely important activity because without that, I mean, we took a look at who we were and the behaviors that we had in the team that we wanted to cultivate and needed to cultivate in order to grow and scale the company with the right type of people who can actually get us where we want to go. So we were able to figure out those, get them really clear, and then put processes in place in order to help hire people with those values, recognize people who demonstrate those values in the company, and really get people out who don't who don't live our values. So we got the values in place. Then we actually took that big, hairy, audacious goal, and that for us is a big one. Like we're looking to change the mentality of the mindset of people. That the first thing, if they have pain in their body, the first thing they think of is exercise and physical therapy, and specifically the practice owners that we work with, the breakthrough practice owners, right? And so we wanted that to be the first thing in the person's mind whenever they have pain, and we're looking to do that by 2030. And so that's a big goal, but what Rich and Wayne helped us to do was to break that down into a 3-year highly achievable goal, to break that goal down into the main components and things that we had to get done in order to get there, and then work backwards to a 1-year goal and then a quarterly goal, and really built out an entire system, a meeting rhythm system to continue to work and march towards that. And it's just been, all of that together has been incredible. Beyond that, we've also put in place scorecards, and I'm getting real specific here, but the scorecards that we put in place helped us keep our team more accountable. It also helped us learn how to have really solid review conversations with our team so that we can, have our team members working on things that they're excited to work on, and be super engaged in what they're working on, and have that super aligned with our company vision all the way back to our quarterly company goals. And so at this point, I'm very confident in saying that if you asked anybody in my business how they contribute towards our purpose and how they're contributing towards our company goals, they can tell you exactly how they do that. They know exactly how they're doing that, and they're excited about it. And that's probably the biggest takeaway and the biggest win. So the results, I mean, if I were to tell you the results from where we were a year ago to where we are today, we've more than doubled our business in that period of time, and we've almost doubled our employees in that period of time as well. And looking forward, we're easily going to do that again this year. In fact, I think we might even do more than that this year. So yeah, amazing results. Some of the struggles and frustrations we were experiencing prior to this, one where we were often bringing the wrong people into the business. Like we were often making some wrong hires, and we were making some wrong hire decisions, right? And so that was a challenge, and we didn't really realize the value and the importance of leadership and the leadership team. And so we learned to put leadership first. But before we were not doing that. We weren't investing enough in our leaders. And that caused us to not be able to scale because they couldn't hire the right people and they didn't have the capacity to do the things we needed them to do to get us where we needed to go. So that was one of the frustrations, just pure people system things. And the other one was just very issues with planning and organizing our rhythm in order to get things done so that and communication. So we would try to put a hodgepodge of all these, what we learned in all these books together, and we didn't really have a full understanding of why they were important and how to operate them, and we weren't efficient in that. When we worked with Freescale, they solved all that because these guys have done this so many times. When we showed up, we actually got through everything we were trying to get through in terms of our quarterly plan the first time. We had a solid plan moving forward, and then every time we've done it since then, we've implemented more and more of these systems that have helped us move forward. But that was a huge challenge for us because I was frustrated. I read all the books. I thought I knew what I was supposed to be doing, but I was never able to get it done, and it felt like the plan was just never tight and to where it needed to be. And it also felt like, in executing on that plan, we didn't have the right systems in place in order to just march forward towards the goal on a regular basis. Yeah, so the leadership has changed a ton. I mean, number one, I was resisting hiring, some leaders that I needed to hire in from the outside. So the people we've hired have changed. We brought some people in with more experience, and I didn't know I needed to do that. I mean, that just shows more leadership capacity in me and realizing that I couldn't just develop everybody we had. And we also were able to get real with each other. So we do work on the 5 behaviors. That's the most foundational thing that you work on there. We're able to, we're already a very solid team when it comes to trusting each other. One of our core values is to be real and have fun, so we're very real with each other. But getting real with each other about specifically our own leadership capacity was something that we needed to do. In doing that, we were able to get the people who needed it, the training they needed or the support they needed from outside in order to be able to hire, and hire the right people and grow their teams. And we wouldn't have been able to double in size if we didn't do that. And really, if we were doing this interview a year from now, it probably I don't even think we've seen all the results that we're going to see from putting this shit in place. It's been really, really, it feels like we're really about to take off right now. Yeah. That's a tough one. It is, man, it's efficient. It's fun. And it's the growth, it's explosive. It's intense. Sorry, I'm using more than 3. I have to. And the last one is just important to me. It's authentic. The people are authentic that you're working with, Rich and Wayne. They're real people, and they help expose the realness in your team and get you to talk about the real truth and what's going on in your business, so you can get that stuff out and then work on what matters. So yeah, I mean, all of those things. Well, I mean, when I first started working with Rich and Wayne, the first thing that I said to them is like, look, I'm in a place where I've grown this business, from nothing to, close to 10 million a year, right? And I don't know what I don't know. And I at least know that. Like, at least I know that I don't know. And I know that you know some of the shit that I don't know. So I really want you to show me that. And there have been things that I didn't realize, like especially personally about myself as a leader. One of the things I didn't realize is that, my understanding of how the business works, if I understand it, that doesn't matter that much. I had better understand it, but the leaders that work with me, my leadership team and the rest of the team, the more they understand it, now that's what really matters. And that's probably the biggest surprise that I've gotten. Some more things are like, yeah, there were some validating things like that. Like, I believed in radically honest culture, and we are that way, and they really have helped enable us to do that. I've always been a purpose-driven guy, and they've really helped put a system in place to take advantage of that. So it's yeah, there's a ton of surprise, but those are the big ones. I mean, it's a very fuzzy thing to put a number on, but I can tell you that, we would have struggled. I mean, we're a fast growing company as it is, right? Like, so before, we went from nothing so we've never raised any money. I mean, this business was, we're very profitable. We're making money from the beginning, and we're self-funded. And so we were very successful, right? And we created a great product market fit. We grew really quickly. We did a good job in marketing, but we weren't great operators. We didn't have the operational skills in place like that we needed. And the return on investment is just like, all I can say is, we were already growing, but there's no way we could have kept going at that pace without falling apart, and making some huge, like, we would have definitely made some huge mistakes, bigger mistakes. I mean, we make mistakes still, but like, we would have made some really big personnel mistakes that would have kept holding us back. And that specifically is like the capacity of leadership, hiring the right people, making sure leadership's on board, getting them all together and organized. Like, without that, I think our growth would have been about half of what it was. So, I mean, you can do the math there. Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I feel like for the person who knows what they want, like, it's a no-brainer. Like, you'd be crazy to not do this. If you don't have the experience and already know how to do that, how to scale a company from 10 to 100 million, like how to put those people systems in place, how to build trust, how to run quarterly planning properly, like, you'd be absolutely crazy to not do it. I can tell you, I can't tell you what your biggest challenges are. I don't know. Whether they're with driving revenue into the business, whether it's operational issues like we were seeing, whether it's hiring or leadership capacity, whether it's cash, I don't know. But I can tell you that these guys have seen it all, and I can also tell you that personally, like, I didn't know what I didn't know, and you don't know what you don't know. And these guys will be able to help point you in the right direction. So it's a complete no-brainer. I mean, you just have to do it. You have to. I understand that it's a big investment in time and intensity and effort, and an investment in money, and it's well worth it. You just have to. You have to do it. The other benefit that these guys never even talk about is the network. So, I mean, they will introduce you to people that will help you get more results in any area of the business than you can possibly imagine. And that's happened as well. So the network has been amazing. My top three experiences with Freescale have been the overall growth of the leadership team and being able to grow my own personal leadership capacity, but even more importantly, being able to see the growth in the leaders that work with me here at Breakthrough, and seeing them be helped to achieve the goals that they want to achieve for the business. So, and seeing them all operate together, and creating space for me to look at the future of the company, and that's been amazing. So that's one of them. Another one was like really nailing down the quarterly planning process. Honestly, like I just had no idea how to do it. That might seem like a simple one, but they taught us how to go from a huge, big, hairy, audacious goal, how to go from values to a big, hairy, audacious goal, to a company purpose, all the way through to what each and every person is working on every day and how they're contributing to that. And that is fucking hard to do. And they really gave us the system to do it. It's really great. So that's number 2. And I think number 3 is just the work on team health, and the 5 behaviors, and what that's done for our team has allowed us to really have a team with insane trust, that can ultimately bubble up to get amazing results. So we're constantly working and holding each other accountable, and I've never worked with such an amazing group of people that I'm working with now, and there's no way we would be at the level we are. Like each and every individual in the company has leveled up because of what we've done there. So the work on our culture and the work on the 5 behaviors and team trust has been amazing. It all starts with trust, right? You need a base of trust. Once you have trust, you can have conflict. When you have conflict, then and only then can you reach a commitment and have commitment in your team. And then and only then can you have accountability, which will get you results. So for us, working on that whole process has really leveled up the bar in terms of trust in our team, which drove straight through that all of those behaviors straight to results. Right now, I really feel like we're just about to break through, which is ironic because that's our company name. But like, I really believe we've doubled last year, and we're going to do more than that this year, because we're really at an inflection point right now where we just put some new leadership in place, and those leaders have just brought in some really good talent from either where they came from or from the outside, and they're growing their teams. And we're seeing those teams just get into place. So the results of that is coming in, and I'm very confident based on our planning process that we're going to hit the goal that we had hoped to hit. So I think we're gonna end up going, and hitting our crazy goal for the year, which is to put over, I think, about 360 sites on our platform, which will transform 360 communities. And that's what our 1 year goal is to transform 360 communities, so that each and every one of those communities knows that they have a place where they can go to solve their pain naturally without pain medication, injections, and surgery. So so I think I fully believe we're going to get there. You should the only other thing, like I touched on a lot of stuff that they can do. They can also work on and give you tools to change your strategy and your business model. That's something that we haven't had to work on so much, but I know that they have the skills and the abilities and the frameworks to help you do that. Aside from that, these are just good guys. They're great guys. They're fun to work with. The whole process is fun. It is intense. It's a lot of work. You have to know you're signing up for a lot, but it's the most important work you can do. So you just have to do it. Freescale is an amazing process with 2 amazing coaches who've actually been there, done that. They've scaled businesses from 10 to 100 million plus, right? They've been there, done that, and what they specialize in is putting in place the people systems, especially the people systems that you need in order to take your company where you want it to go. And that has to do with locking down the values, figuring out what your your company purpose is, breaking that down into a big, hairy, audacious goal, and then working backwards all the way to what needs to be done right now. And then helping drive that throughout the whole organization so that everybody is excited about working on what is going to contribute to the company the most every single day. And it really works, and it does that. So, and in the process, it creates more freedom for you to focus on what you want to focus on in your life, and to focus on the future of your company, which is what I've finally been able to do, which is amazing.